Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dragon's Lair. My name is Reaver, and yes, we are not doing Magic the Gathering Arena today. Today, I am taking a look at Legends of Runeterra. I heard this mentioned from Merchant a couple times recently. He did a video on it that I caught on YouTube, and I thought I'd check it out. He did some explaining for Magic the Gathering players that might not have played it. In this video, I am going to go over mechanics of the cards, how the game is played, showing the differences and similarities between the two, and hopefully see how well I like it, see if you guys might like it. This is put up by Riot Games, and this is a card game based off of League of Legends. I myself have not played League of Legends yet. My computer, unfortunately, isn't good enough to do that. But for right now, let's take a look at some cards. So to start off with the deck, you are going to pick champions. You have rarities, you have champion cards, you have your epic, rare, and common. They are going to have, your cards are going to have a region specific or affiliation, alliance, whatever you want to call it. You can have up to 2 affiliations or regions in your deck depending on who you choose for your champion. You have on the upper left hand corner the mana cost. Unlike Magic the Gathering, this is actually more like Hearthstone and how mana works. Each round you will get a number of mana equal to the round number. So round 1 you'll have 1 mana to use. Round 2 you'll have 2 mana, and it'll build up eventually to 10. You have power or the attack, toughness or defense. When a unit takes damage, their defense will not go back to max after the end of each turn. Damage is permanent. There are a couple ways to restore damage done to a unit, which I will start to go over with the abilities of different cards. Now you can see champions have this level up section on it. So you have 2 different aspects for leveling up. Now just take Braum here as an example. You'll see that it says, I've survived 10 total damage. They'll use this I've or I have, I've seen. So this right here basically means 10 total damage has been done to Braum, and it'll level up. On the cards, if you right click on the card, it'll bring up full card. This is the Freljord elite area. Braum also has 2 abilities. Challenger, which means that you can decide what creatures will block it. And he does have regeneration. This is the only way on unit cards like this that they will heal up at the start of each round. So like here, again, level up. Next card in the picture line is when he has leveled up. When I survive damage, meaning when Braum survives damage, summons a Mighty Poro. Mighty Poro, right here, it's a 3/3 creature. If you have it in your hand, it'll cost 3 to come out. and it has this ability called Overwhelm. This is basically the trample mechanic. Excess damage dealt to a blocker will deal damage to the enemy's nexus. The nexus is their life total. Starts off at 20, just like Magic the Gathering. Also, champions have these specific champion spells. I'm not 100% sure how to get these yet. I will go over this burst in a moment or two. There's 3 different spell types. I'll go over them. Here's some ability. Can only be blocked by enemies with 3 or more power. So, mechanic that showed up later on, just recently in Magic the Gathering, creature can't be blocked except by blah blah blah. Quick attack, that's our first strike ability. Attacking, so these do have effects that happen when you declare attack with it. Again, there's the Overwhelm. Enlightened. This is basically when you have 10 mana, you've filled your normal mana bar totally up. Now you'll notice Jinx on here. Quick attack, so she's got first strike, and her level up is your hand is empty. That is, anytime your hand is empty, she will level up. And as far as I understand, she does not have to be in play for that to happen either. So when she levels up, start of the round, draw 1 card. First time you empty your hand each round, you'll create a super mega death rocket. And this spell happens to have an ability called Fleeting. It'll basically be discarded at the end of the round if you don't use it. Spell type. So spells are going to have 3 different types. You have your slow spell. The only time you can't cast them is during combat. You have your fast spells, which can be played at any time. And then you have a burst spell. Burst spells resolve instantly. Your opponent cannot act before the spell finishes. Burst spell is going to be akin to way back in the day. They had a speed called mana ability. It was just very shortly used before they just put in the rules for when you gain mana, it's instantaneous, nothing can interrupt it. So again, slow can be cast anytime outside of combat. Your opponent can respond. Fast can be played at any time. Your opponent can respond. And then burst, anytime, resolves instantly, and your opponent can only sit there, scratch their head, or say, "Dang, that was brutal." Last breath. They do have exit the battlefield effects right here. This one, when the unit dies, it'll summon a unit. Fleet Feather Tracker has an effect when another ally enters the battlefield. When you actually summon it, it'll give Challenger to this particular unit. Cards that can't block. There's that Fearsome again. Elusive. best thing you can equate this to would be flying. It's a form of evasion. Elusive creatures can only be blocked by other elusive creatures. First spell that'll create random spell cards in your hand. Support. Now this ability, when you are attacking, and I'll show this in a little bit, when you are attacking, you actually have to order how your creatures are going to be attacked because they actually go into an attack queue. So the first creature you bring out, it will be the first creature that attacks. Second creature that comes out is the second creature that attacks. This is going to be very important because when creatures are blocked, all of the damage goes into the queue order. So if your first creature is killed, if another creature down the attack queue has an ability that says when a creature dies, X happens, that ability will trigger when the first creature dies, or the creature before it in the attack queue. Hopefully when I go through a game, we'll be able to actually see this in action. When you cast spell, it grants ally in your deck +1/+1. You can actually buff your creatures that aren't in play already, which is a really huge difference between Magic the Gathering and Legends of Runeterra. That's pretty much most of the abilities. You do have Stun, which will remove a unit from combat or prevent it from attacking or blocking. You have Tough, will 1 point of damage resistance. It prevents the first point of damage that the creature will take. Lifesteal, Lifelink, very similar between the two. Frostbite will set a unit's power to 0 for the round. It can be modified afterwards. I think that is pretty much most of the abilities there. Just going through the rest of these cards, see if there's anything that I have missed as far as abilities go. I think that's pretty much it. As far as Obliterate, completely removed from the game. So this is an exile effect. Dang. First time actually looking at that card. So, next we are going to go into a sample game up against the AI using this trial deck. Now this trial deck I have, and it's 2 factions. We have the Iona and the Demacia. We have in here Inspiring Mentor, which when it comes into play gives an ally in your hand +1/+1. This has a lot of buffing of allies in it. Got some elusive cards in here that will also buff up, like this one. When I summon an ally, this will get +1/+0. That Herald of the Spring, hopefully we get a chance to actually see it. Maximum number of cards in a deck is 40. Maximum copies per card is 3, if I remember correctly, because it's only a 40 card deck. Usually the games where you only have a 40 card deck, it restricts it to 3 because 4 is way too powerful, way too many of a specific card in there. Create random spell in hand. Keeper of Masks. This will buff others. Single combat. This is your fight mechanic. So Domri's Ambush or Joust or any other card like that. That's an actual fight mechanic. Vanguard Defender with Tough. Tough again. Reduces damage by 1. Emerald Awakener. When I hit 10 mana, this will be a 4/4 with Lifesteal. On guard, that will give an ally a challenger, so that will let me dictate how the battle goes to some extent. Another card with challenger. Scaled Snapper. When this comes into play, I can either choose it to be a 5 attack, 2 defense, or 2 attack, 5 defense. So it depends on if I need an attacker or a defender. Draw a card with an elusive. Combat Trick here. When this one's summoned, it'll create a spell. Or Demacia. Gives allies +3/+3 this round for 6 mana. Gives a single ally +2/+2. Recall. This is basically your bounce effect for creatures or units. I haven't seen any enchantments or anything like that. That's going to really start complicating this type of game. And it'll remove all effects that are applied to that card. Champion, Jeweled Protector, buff up card, Karma, another champion, end of the round creates a random spell in hand. Lux has Barrier, negates the next damage the unit would take, lasts 1 round. I'm not 100% sure how that is activated, so hopefully we'll have a chance to actually see that in action. And then when this is out, seeing cast at 6+ mana of spells, then it'll create a final spark in hand. That's fleeting. Redoubled Valor, fully heals and then doubles the power and health. And then that Empyrean, 6/5 for 7 mana with elusive. So, let's go into some play versus AI. And since it's AI, we don't have to wait too long for an opponent. The main event. Deck name AI. And let's see how well we do. So to start off, you do have a mulligan phase where you can choose if you want to keep the cards or not. So this we actually have, we've got Lux in our hand, which won't be able to be cast until later, but I can live with that. We've got a couple elusive cards, and we've got that Herald of Spring. So we've got a chance to actually see some of the stuff in action. On the left hand side you have your Nexus, your health. Right hand side we've got confirmation button for actions. Going around the outside here, we have how much mana you have. Now you'll see it starts at 0, or starts at 1. and each round it'll go up. This outside bar here, that is spell mana. Any mana that you do not use in a round, up to 3, will refill your spell mana up to 3 points. So if you have none, well, we act first here. Hit OK. Draw a card at the beginning of the round. Now I had no actions to take, so it automatically passed for you. Now you'll see this right here. This is the attack token.
I'm on it. Wow, did you see that?
So they played a Nigger Apprentice, which gave them 2 spell mana. They've got this Astute Academic, so when they draw a card, it gets +1/+0. It's my turn. I've got 2 mana to spend, and since I didn't spend the mana from last round, I have 1 spell mana. Spell mana can only be used for spells. Self-explanatory. I am going to bring out this Keeper of Masks.
Kneel, students.
2 power, 3 health.
Warriors.
When you actually cast a spell, it'll show up in the middle here. Now they stunned my units.
Did that sound right?
They're attacking with everything. A lot of damage. Now it's my turn to attack. I have... Okay, so this is good. So I'm gonna bring out the Lawrence Protege.
Who does not know the name Laurent?
How can I help?
They bring out Nigger Apprentice,
I learned that
which
in
will
class.
give them 2 spell mana. Now, before they can do anything else, I'm going to force it into combat. So I'm going to attack with both of these,
Run them through!
confirm the attack.
You're disrupting my research.
So they did Culling Strike, which destroyed my other units. It's not looking good here, but we'll see what happens.
A foray into the field? How exciting!
I'm gonna bring the Scaled Snapper out as a 2/5. So it's gonna be able to take some damage. They slow it.
Excuse me?
I am going to block one of the 2 ones.
Fast.
So it looks like this main event is more of an aggro style deck. My action. So Herald of Spring is going to come out. They have nothing they can do. So I am actually going to bring out this other Herald of Spring. And this is going to be a perfect example of ordering your combat. So the support, as it shows, attacking with a support unit will buff the unit to its right. So I bring out Herald of Spring, that's going to be the first one attacking. The next Herald of Spring comes out attacking. And then I'm going to attack with the Scaled Snapper. This supports this one, giving it lifesteal. This one supports this one, giving it lifesteal. So this card right here, to play they had to discard a card. And when it leaves the battlefield, they'll draw a card. I will play Karma.
We'll bring peace to Ionia, whatever the cost. By force of will.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
And as soon as both of you pass in a row, then it goes on to the next round. So we have Death Mark. That's a random card. Remove Imperial from an ally to grant it to an enemy. We got Radiant Strike. Let's bring out Lux.
We can do this!
My action, I will start attacking.
Sure, boss.
Now block Karma. Karma still lives. Everybody and lives. Grants all battling followers Imperial. Okay, so they're going to deal 1 damage to all units, so Karma's going to go bye-bye. Can't do a slow spell. So Karma goes bye-bye. I'm going to redouble Valor on the Scaled Snapper.
Pushing my limits!
Going to level up Lux. Give me a final spark, which is going to take care of the Chempunk Shredder.
By the light!
I like the graphics. Some pretty cool graphics. I am going to pass and end the round. So,
The order rewards.
summon and draw a card.
The Yordle here's with me.
Let's see how many of these we can have out.
My resting face.
Let's brighten up their day.
Okay, so if you...
Night falls.
Doesn't matter what order I attack in here. But it's nice that you can click and drag across.
Hang on, Zern.
And that is a sample of how the gameplay goes. Obviously, we have not been able to use all the mechanics in one game, but it gives you a decent idea. You do have these quests here that when you complete, you gain experience. So for this game, we finished off play 3 cards that cost 6 or more mana. Spell storage, we used 8 out of my 9 mana total, and then I played 2 champions. So looks like we unlocked a prologue reward, and we're a decent amount into this second vault. So let's actually go into the rewards. We're going to open up this Poro Bundle. So we are getting, looks like it's got the rarities down here. So we got 2 Poro snacks. First spell, which grants Poro allies everywhere, +1/+1. A couple lonely Poros. When this Poro is summoned, create in hand a random 1-cost Poro from any region. Heart of the Fluffed. When you play, combine all of our Poros into a Fluffed of Poros. It gains their stats and keywords. We're going to have to look at the card a little more carefully. And Braum. 1 copy of Braum. Silver chest. Looks like we unlocked the silver chest also. So let's see what we get out of it. Common. So we got a rare wild card. Commons, we got Mushroom Cloud. So these Poison Puff Caps, what that happens, it will attach to a random card in the opponent's deck. When the opponent draws that card, they take 1 point of damage. Back to back, that's a nice combat trick. Wraith Caller. Fearsome. And then Tarkaz the Tribeless. Attacks, deals 1 damage to all battling units. Oh, got a draft token, so it looks like they're going to have draft events in here. And then shards. And shards, I assume, are for actually purchasing cards. You can either purchase cards or use wild cards to get them, it looks like. Champion bundle. Not quite there yet. And just for exploration, let's look at the cards that we have. See about finding those new cards. There's the Lonely Poro. Mighty Poro. If we actually do a Poro deck. Okay, so there's the Wraith Caller. Allegiance. When you summon this, it gets its allegiance bonus if the top card of your deck matches its region. So this is going to be good for a mono region card, or a mono region deck. Very good for a mono region deck. Heart of the Fluffed. So the Fluffed of Poros. That's a lot of Poros. Last breath, it will summon a Heart of the Fluffed. Okay. So it goes in a cycle here. So you can Voltron your Poros into one huge thing. Bring out more, and when that dies, you can do it over and over again. That is very cool. Well, I thank you for joining me on this little adventure looking at Legends of Runeterra. I definitely think I'm going to be playing this more in the future, making some videos. Hopefully once I get more cards, I will do deck techs, explore the different options that we have, see if there are definite control builds, see if there's any sort of mid-range builds and aggro builds. Until next time, my friends, thank you for joining me in the Dragon's Lair. Again, my name is Reaver. If you like what I do here, tap that like, summon the subscribe button, and ring the bell if you want notification on videos that come up. And I hope you all have a wonderful day no matter where you are. Stay safe, my friends.